sorry about that, that have done it, but I have found Innovations grenades, or whatever, the guys who make the Cyclone grenades and Cyclone and Tornado grenades, actually make pretty decent packages for this. And yes, it's a plastic, but damn if I'm not, it's a good plastic. I've been using this same one for over, oh god, since it came out pretty much. And the way they do it is nice. The plastic's in, okay, that's preference, but what comes in the package is actually very good. They actually give you an extender piece for like those lever action like guns, and it fits in there perfect, or any ones that have extended inward valves, fill valves, which is good. Those are hard to find, if not you have to make yours. They also include, get this, lubing oil, okay? So, and to get all that in a package for like 20 bucks or so, sign me up. So most of them, you just get this, and it's metal. That's it. Really, you're getting extras for the price you pay, and it's fantastic, hands down. Would buy again. And that's basically really it for gas guns, because really, you don't need to buy green gas, all that good jazz. Because literally, propane is what it is. They just take out the tracer, which, you know how propane smells. That's the tracer to let you know your propane is flowing. With green gas, it's just that without the tracer, and some of them put a little lube in it, but it's like, eh. Because see, personally, how I lube a gun is if I have the right stuff at the right time. I have two types of oils. One is like a lighter liquid grease, which I personally have found that Evike sells for like $4, is Phantom Gear, and I use that in the internals, like for sort of like the O-rings and stuff. But for like a slide on this brand new WE High Kappa 3.8 2011 model, is for like the slides and stuff, I have found that there's greases, and it's like a very good grease that's for O-rings, and it comes in like a tube about this big. It's not cheap, but damn if it doesn't work. And you want to use heavier greases on the slide, because that's the most action part of it. Lighter greases are for like the nozzle into the BB and like here, and when you're filling it, just to keep the O-rings that keep the valves in nice and not dry, because some gases do dry up your gun, like CO2. And yes, I suggest when you're using a CO2 mag or whatever, you put a drop of the oil in where the valve that punctures the CO2 is. Then you puncture the CO2 and stuff, and then like lube the lip for the gas to go into the nozzle to cycle the gun. Other than that, basically, if you don't want to go more expensive slash in the long run cheaper, there is a tool that I suggest everyone gets. It's 15 bucks, not that expensive, but it will help you in the long run from not breaking your gun. This is from Evike. It's a valve tool, and as you see, these have all different types of screws. This one is for tightening this valve right here, the fill valve, and this one is for tightening your release valves. If I can do this right, I'll show you what this does. Yeah, that's all it does, and it tightens all that and loosens it to change out whatever you need to. Other than that, it's pretty much just like common sense, looking at other people's work that they have done. Personally, I just do random builds and try to flip them, but you never do that like ever in airsoft unless you know what you're doing. Other than that, it's just I basically do simple upgrades and simple like cleaning and lubing, because I'm an active player, okay? And the one thing I like about my basement setup is this. I have multiple tables. You always want multiple tables, lighting and whatnot. This is basically all my current stuff that I'm working on slash cleaning, all that. And after a while, you need to test your stuff. So back here is my backup stuff, like stuff that I'm working on, all this other crap. And like I have my BB guns, all that stuff down here as well. Other stuff, BBs, all this good stuff. Crap that I had to clean. But yeah, basically this is like my armory here. If I want to do like when I'm done with something, I'm not going to use it, put it on display, all this good jazz. Other than that, the only thing else I have down here is this is a BB trap. Please, if you're doing testing and stuff in your house, this will save your butt. This catches the BBs and all that other good jazz so they don't go flying. So it's a good thing to have. It's like 10 bucks. I got it and it works for me. Now granted, this is just more of like, if I can hit in there, and the BBs and stuff are going, it works for me. If I need to go long range testing, I go to a private citizen's residence and actually do range testing and stuff. But other than that, it's all like in-house testing, making sure the guns fire, all that good jazz. And this is basically all my collections throughout the years. I've been playing airsoft for well over, oh god, it's probably going on 10 years plus now. I've been playing since I was a little kid. Like, you know, some guy got a Springer and we would play like Cowboys and Indians or stuff like that in their backyard, and it was fun. But after a while, I started getting more and more money to buy more and more things. So it's like, what do? You just keep going up and up and up, and then you go into a real field and see your shit because you don't have tactics. Now, besides the P90, which is just basically inner barrel change from when I got it, the guy actually did a smart thing. And if I can get the butt plate off, because the butt plate is where the batteries and stuff are held, he actually did a good thing and wired it to Dean's. Now, Dean's is a better connection than Tamiya, which is like, this is a female connection. That's Tamiya, like every gun has it almost. But it's basically low resistance stuff, so the battery can get a fuller charge in and out and stuff like that. It makes it go faster. It increases your RPS or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I basically, unless I get the gun stock or no one has changed it, I will personally run Dean's all the time. And that's basically all I did to the P90. Now, I also have this. It's what it's called is the Vigilante by Crosman. It's a BB top break revolver. It shoots BBs and pellets. Now, the best thing I found out from this is, you see that right there? Right here? That's a slot head screwdriver. You can literally take this whole front piece off and exchange it and do whatever you want to it. Now, I wasn't smart, slash I didn't have the time to get someone to 3D print these, but all I did was, since I knew the barrel wouldn't fit the new one I was going to put in, I just took that part off here. Because all it did was hold in the smaller inner barrel for steel BBs and pellets. And all I did was I found a barrel that I knew I was going to use, which is right here. And all I did was burn the edges and stuff for it to fit an airsoft barrel in. Now, if you did this right, you can use Hater revolver clips in it, which I love. But what I did was not even do that, and I just said directly put the barrel into the like the gas release valve. And you see this is for where you would put your R-hop patches and stuff like that, and like and then you put over the bucking. I said I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to put this out as like a barrel compensator, so when the gas goes out, instead of like going like that or wherever, the gas that releases will push down and keep my shots accurate. Now, of course, this is a multiple load BB one. I actually was using this barrel right over here as it, and with that I was getting, like, with one pump of a speed loader, which is like 5 BBs, it was shooting hot. Like for my CQB field, like 5 BBs, which is one pump of my speed loader, was shooting 400 feet per second. Imagine that coming out of here, 5 BBs, 400 feet per second. Okay, and I've also done a mod, which I will show you now, that I suggest you don't do, but I was stupid enough to try it and it worked, and then afterwards it only worked one more time. But I was working on a project. You see that? This is like an A&K M24 bolt action sniper rifle. I was like, I'm not spending how much money to get the adapter and the actual suppressor after that. So what I did was, I looked at the threading, because this is the end cap for here, and that's what you take out to thread on the suppressor and whatnot. And I was like, looking at something. This is a Thunder Bee core piece. And I was like, you know what? Could this fit? And I was like, okay, that fits on the end. So then I was like, what if this could fit on here? And I was just like, and this is what I do in my spare time, to see what I have that fits in other things that it shouldn't, but it does. And look at that. No modding, no nothing, just straight in, screw it in. And you got a outer barrel extension suppressor that's hollow and you can fill with whatever you want. And that's pretty much all I do. I find guns that I know I can easily mod and stuff like that and turn them into stupid creations. And this, while I'm at this, this was actually done by one of the local fields around here and its owner. He basically took crossbow that you would find at Toys R Us for like 20 bucks or something, and what he did was something special. You see this? That's like an M4 gearbox upper. And this is the nozzle for loading a BB. As such, you load a BB in, boosh. This is cocking mechanism for it. And what it does is something special. Instead of using gas or a normal like spring cocking mechanism, he did this. This is the actual bolt that does the airflow, all that good jazz. So when the arms are out and on it, because I'm modding it right now into an HPA system, it'll be like this. Flip that, the bow actually works, so there will be a string on here, pushes in, shoots the BB out, and it actually can shoot from right here into that target, no problem. And I've attached a pressure switch light onto it, because once I turn it into HPA, it's going to be like a super fast BB hose. And that's pretty much all I've been doing lately, is doing small stuff like that. Because a lot of these parts that I'm getting, or going to get soon, because I want to turn this into an LMG box mag fed one, because in the future I'm going to get an average SSG 24 and make sure it's CQB legal 350 FPS. And then on a few websites you can find 3D printed inserts for guns. They have a VSR 10 stuff like mag. Well, that is 3D printed. It comes out and you can put M4 mags in it. It's by Double Tap Designs in the UK. LMG bolt action sniper rifle. Oh, come on, you know that's going to be fun. And other than that, I've been looking at some other things, and Marui, that makes all those like God guns and whatnot, someone actually got the hold of the licensing and stuff, because this is a Jag Arms scatter gun that I spray painted. It was an ugly tan, FD tan thing, and it was like, I'm not working with that. Like, see, that's it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna spray paint this thing and make it into something cool, because Double Tap Designs actually has one where you can put an M4 mag and feed from the M4 mag. Since this is a gas shotgun, it really doesn't need, it needs shells to fire, of course. And this is like a 30, this is the stock 28 rounder they give us. I was like, if I'm gonna be in CQB all this time, I'm not gonna want to reload the gun, because that's one of its downfalls, is the reloading process, the gas, and other stuff. That's why most people HPA tap it, and other good jazz like that. And the one downfall I hate about airsoft guns in general like this is that constant racking. In a gunfight, for me, where I go, it's super fast paced, and you need semi-auto trigger response. Like, it needs to be fast. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be faster than you can pull the trigger. Like, it needs to have like 2 trigger pulls, you shoot 4 BBs type deal. And really, that's basically my field. It's like very fast paced. If you get stuck at one spot, you're spawn trapped. And it's like, if you don't do it right, you're gonna die. And that's pretty much it. Here is my baby. This gun was gotten in a trade, and the best part about this is, yes, it is a Krytac body and internals, but here's the thing. This is one of the oldest DSGs by Umbrella Armories out in California. And what a DSG is a dual sector gear, and it's basically built for high rate of fire builds. And this gun in full auto can rip 40 BBs plus per second, so 40 RPSs. And it's nice because in here, besides it being wired to Dean's and stuff, which is a high grade motor, I changed the inner barrel as well. The inner barrel is a 601 type bore, R-hopped. So, as you saw before, most barrels of airsoft guns do not have an R-hop. And what it does is it gives it more space when the hop-up arm hits the BB. Like, this is, the bucking would be over this, and it would hit just the bucking and go into here, because this is where the hop-up arm makes the BB hit. Well, most guns do not have that, and what they did was put the R-hop patch in, then you put the bucking over, and then you put it into a modified